Hi everyone, welcome to the Primitive channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my flop sketchbook and why you should flop as well. So I'm going to do 7 points that I think are very important on why you should flop, and I'm going to go through them one by one, so let's start it already. Number 1, not every sketchbook needs to be perfect. I think we have built in this notion that sketchbooks need to be perfect because of like the sketchbook tours that we see out there, or just like reels and stuff, and we think we have just pressure that every art on the sketchbook must be beautiful and pristine. But I think that's a lot of crap. Like, I think sketchbooks, which is my second point, are made to explore your work. So following to the second point is sketchbooks are made to explore your work. They are made for experimentation. I think so. That's something I learned in college, at least on my degree, is something that we learned, like when we did assignments and something on a sketchbook. It's meant to be explored. Like when we're drawing a figure, we don't have to be so focused on if it's perfect, if we are copying every detail of that figure, because it's just a sketch. Like, we're just trying, we're just practicing. You need to think that every drawing you do in the sketchbook is a practice, and it is not going to waste. You're going to learn something from that. Even if you think it looks like absolute garbage, you're going to learn something from it. And it's very important, extremely important, that you keep that there and that you keep trying, because you're going to keep learning, and that's how we grow. Because practice is what makes you perfect. I mean, not perfect, because perfection is a very abstract concept. I think art is subjective, and I think perfection should not be like your point reach. I think you should try to be better always, because there will be always something to learn. So by practicing is how you're going to actually reach that. You're not going to like look at a picture in the reel of that artist you love and suddenly get better at art. You need to do the ugly art, you need to do the ugly sketch, you need to do the ugly thing, you need to do the ugly thing. So point 3 is social media made us believe that every work should be a masterpiece, and that's wrong. Danganronpa sound effect. You've got that wrong. That's extremely wrong. Not every art should be a masterpiece. Not every art should even be posted. I think art is something that we should experiment with. I think in an age of social media, we get this pressure that we should be posting everything. We should be getting ourselves out there. By not posting, we are losing an opportunity to gain followers, likes, etc. And I think it's fair, because I also feel pressure by that. When I do art, I feel like I have to keep posting everything. But also, that's extremely unhealthy, because you shouldn't force yourself to post every art you make. That's something I'm trying to think for myself. Like, it's okay to have sketches that you're never gonna post. And to me, it's very hard to make this flop sketchbook flip through, because there's art there that I truly hate. There's like, to me, the sketchbook is such a fail, because I know what I'm saying. Like, deep down, I think it's a fail, because I didn't make that much pretty art, and there's like lots of sketches without any sense in the middle. But you know what? I've learned with it. I actually try new techniques. I relearned how to use oil pastels, because I hadn't used them in forever. You can see in one of the works that I actually had to do a mock-up of what I wanted to do with the oil pastels, and then I actually came back and did the piece. It's on the other side, the opposite side. So it's like a trial and error, and you actually need to get through the ugly part to get to the pretty part, which is what sucks about art, is that you will draw ugly things before you draw pretty things. But I think you getting out of this mentality that you need to post every single thing, and that you need to be out there for every single piece you make, you will feel at peace once you settle yourself down and think, no, this is a sketch. Maybe I like to post sketches on my stories, because I don't feel that pressure of, oh, I'm getting likes, I'm getting follows. Like, if I feel like it, I post a sketch in the story, and that's it. And that has been doing wonders for me. Number 4, experimenting is key, and sketchbooks are made for that. As I was saying, Experimenting is key, but I guess this is like a remixed version of what I was saying, because experimentation is what gets you to places, which means sometimes you have to go out of your comfort zone, which is not always nice, but that makes you learn how to use new materials, how to use new software, how to use new brushes, even settings, whatever. And you won't know if you actually need that being part of your art routine until you try. So you have to try, you have to get out of your comfort zone, and you need to experiment. And for the paper part, sketchbooks are great for that, and you don't have to post everything. As I was saying, you can just experiment there and leave it there forever. Number 5, think about your tenant now, and think about looking at your progress layer. So this is about keeping your media and keeping your sketchbooks and not throwing them out, which is something that I did in the past. I did that with a lot of my old sketchbooks from when I was a child. I just threw them away because I had a phase in my life where I truly had a unhealthy mentality with my own art. And I actually threw out art. I deleted archives. I deleted a lot of things because I hated the way my art looked and I couldn't stand looking at it. And now I see that that was a huge mistake, because seeing the 10 now, seeing the progress is actually really satisfying, and I wish I had those other things, but I don't. But point is, keep your art, and keeping sketchbooks is important. I feel like it's important to put here, because keep your sketchbooks if you can, because keep your art. Seeing the progress is nice. And yeah. Number 6, which I also think is important to know, which is a remixed version of what I already said. Flopping is important, but you don't need to do what I'm doing right now. You don't need to do a video showing your flop era. Like, you don't have to do that. You actually can just keep it to yourself and have a good time. If don't feel pressure to just do things for content, especially if it's something that you don't feel comfortable with, don't do it. Sometimes just looking at your own progress, as I was saying, is nice, and having that makes you feel secure and happy about what you have there. And 7, finally, the good old problem, comparison. That's something I struggle with to this day, and I can't just come here and say, oh, I'm magically cured from comparison, and I took a magic pill that made me no longer compare myself with others. Because I look at other people's portfolio, I look at other people's work, and think, I wish I was there. I wish I was in that place. But remember what I said, to get to the good place, you have to go to the ugly. You have to do the ugly sketches, you have to do the not so good designs, the not so good stuff, to get better at your craft. And sketchbooks, again, what did I say, are great for that. And I also I have not a rabbit, I have a habit of keeping a digital sketchbook of sorts. It's like a folder that I keep, and I keep like lots of not folders, lots of digital files in there. And it's like a digital sketchbook. Someday maybe I could show it, maybe, I don't know, but it has very bare bones sketches. Like, if you look at my latest environmental art on my Instagram, by example, I did a lot of these bare bones sketches first and thumbnailing, and I keep there like as my sketchbook, and then when I do the actual piece, I base myself on that. And I think sometimes I also do, like, I'm doing a comic right now, which is the comic I mentioned in my last video. I'm doing the first thumbnails, I'm doing the first tests, and I love doing it traditionally, like to get a dimension idea or just movement. I feel like it's easier sometimes for me to do it, like, because I'm drawing on my phone right now, and it's kind of hard to do certain things. So I do it traditionally, and you can use both to your advantage, and it's a great way to actually get where you want. But coming back to comparison, I think the key is to think that there's no right or wrong way to doing things. I mean, yes, there's techniques and stuff, but like, you can't just think, by example, your road to success on the internet. We shouldn't just compare yourself, be it like in a way, if that person has more followers than you, that person has more visibility, that person has a style you would like to achieve. If that person has X follows, you can achieve that. It will just take time. If that person has a style you want, you can develop it. It will just take time. You have to be patient. So something that I've taken to my heart about comparison is that you can do this. It's just time and practice and getting visibility and getting there. And yeah, I hope this video was useful somehow to someone. I think I would like to hear that from somebody on the internet, because the things I actually tell myself, and that's how I get over certain stuff in my head. So I hope this was helpful to someone. Thank you so much for watching. I like my flip through to my flop era sketchbook, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.